I genuinely might lose all my subscribers with this video. What am I on? 93,000. Halve it. Halve it immediately. GG everyone, this is the last video you will see from me. Because I'm going to take on the AI on 1% with no assists. This is exposure. This is me caught with my trousers down in the most embarrassing way possible. Obviously, you know, I am a fan of an assist. I don't run them all, but I run a few because, you know, I'm a casual player. I just pick the controller up, have a bit of fun, log off again. There's no... I'm not trying to be the next Johnny Herbert. No, that's rubbish. I'm not trying to be the next Sebastian Vettel. I'm just having a bit of fun online. That's all I'm doing. So look, I'm taking them all off. We're going into a race in Canada, and you bet your bottom dollar I'm doing a practice session before we go into qualifying in the race. Okay, here we are then, practice session, and this is me taking control with no assists whatsoever for the first time in many years. Bit late on the upshift to start with there, couldn't quite work out what button it was, but we're there now, and we are hurtling ourselves towards the final chicane, which will be our first corner with no assists. How are we going to do? Bit of a lock-up, and we're ballroom dancing already. Right, well, that's the lack of traction for you. We're going to need to be a bit kinder to the accelerator pedal, and I'm all out of sorts. Not bad shifting up there as we approach the start-finish straight. Right, over the line, onto a hot lap. How are we going to do? Round turn one, bit of a lock-up on both tyres, but we are actually keeping the car on the straight and narrow so far. Nice and gentle on the accelerator. As I said, I am on pad, which does hinder acceleration, as I covered in my Proof the Pad is Harder video, a link to which will be in the description. Now, I'll tell you what though, we're doing alright here. Okay, the lockups is a problem, but apart from that, we are staying in the right sort of shape. Considering I've just dropped all the assists for this lap, I think we can be very impressed. This is not the end of the channel. This is the start of a brand new dawn, as it turns out. Mincing the track. Oh my, we're on for a hot lap here. What are we on? 50 seconds as we approach the hairpin. Oh, Ferrari can only dream of those kind of lap times. On the exit now, and there we go. We're ballroom dancing again. That's not gone well. Few laps under my belt, and the observation is that I'm actually faster than 1% AI when I keep the car on track. My problem is that I'll get too excited at the prospect of doing a green sector, press the accelerator too fast, and that happens. Well, I mean, that was just incompetence altogether, because I hadn't even done a... this is just really poor now. Head has completely gone off, and we are forming quite the bond with that DHL barrier, which hopefully we can rid ourselves of now. And the worst thing, the problem we have now at this point, is that the tyres are overheating. So look at the rears. I mean, it's bad enough on a controller with no traction control, but when your rears look like that, what hope do you have? I mean, Santa Claus isn't that red. When you do a bad sector, it doesn't go that red. I didn't know red got that red, to be honest with you. But it does, and you're expected to just crack on as normal, which is what we will try and do here. So we're going to slide our way through this corner, and you're going to do really well to escape any kind of corner without spinning out and having a one-to-one appointment with a Arnco. I've returned to the garage and come back out because there was little point carrying on with that shambles. Into turn one then, not long left of the session, so I'm really going to have to start showing some good results. That really is the opposite of good results. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that's the most catastrophic result out of turn one we've had so far. Turn two is even worse. Right, well, we're showing about the consistency of gone-off milk. Just at the time when we're thinking, oh yeah, we need to move this into qualifying, we're all over the shop. We are all over the place. Anyway, that's the best we got. Right, we might as well get set for qualifying. One-shot qualifying then. I imagine this is going to be extremely brief, but we'll give it a go anyway. So, into turn one, and we are P1, so it's going well so far. You can see that I've gained an awful amount of confidence in my time practicing, although I haven't gained a lot of consistency. Confidence is there. I know a bit more about when to change gear and when to accelerate. Out through that first chicane, and we are still holding P1 here. This is starting to look very good. Now, this section's very tricky. Got to be very careful here. We haven't been careful. We don't need to see any more of that. Race day then against the... It's raining. It is raining. Right. Well, the game might as well have just thrown out all my preparation if it's going to give me rain on race day. Right, I've just wasted all the time because all the experience and confidence I've gained has gone straight down the toilet. The moment we've been waiting for then, me versus 1% AI, no assists, and away we go now towards turn 1 in the heavy rain, and I've lost it immediately. In the barriers we go. Words fail me, they really do. Words really do fail me. We're going to carry on. No damage, thankfully. And it was a perfect 360, so we're not completely out of contention. And we know from the qualifying lap, obviously these are my first laps in the rain, but we know from the qualifying lap that I'm actually faster than the AI when I can keep it on track. So a hard job has been made even harder by the unforgiving dynamic weather setting, which has decided to hand me a heavy rain Grand Prix just at the time when I'm thinking, yeah, I could do without heavy rain. But we are catching the pack here, and I think we could be on for a middle of the pack finish if we can keep it on the straight and narrow. P20, very close to an excursion there that we didn't want to take, but thankfully we avoided it. Now we're getting towards the latter half of the lap, and I've got that a bit wrong, but we are right alongside Mr. Kubica, and we're not anymore because I've gone a bit too trigger happy on the exit, and we've lost a lot of the time that we gained back. This is going to take an enormous amount of discipline. I'm going to have to be very careful. It's so easy to just get too excited on the accelerator, just like that. And the spin out cost us an awful lot of time, as you can clearly see. Half a lap later, we are still behind, but we've gone purple in Sector 1, so the opportunity is still there not to lose this Grand Prix. I just have such a problem with the traction control and the braking, as it turns out, through that corner. And again, on the acceleration, I cannot, for the life of me, apply acceleration in the right quantity. I mean, I can drive a car. I have a full, clean UK driver's license. Ironically, I passed second time because I failed first time for nearly hitting a barrier. But I can drive a car. And yet, on this game, hopeless. Can't do the gears. Well, I'm alright at the gears, actually. But it's doing the gears whilst thinking about not accelerating too much, which is the bit I have issue with. It's just the traction control is so difficult. Unimaginable levels of concentration need to go into this next 2 laps if I'm not going to finish stone dead last in this Grand Prix. You can see them, they're not far away. It's only those 2 spin outs that I've had, and considering I've been handed an absolute shafting by the game, making me practice in the dry, and then, oh, we'll just pop you on intermediates for the race itself, so you can throw all of the preparation that you've done into the sea and forget about it. I've done all right. Purple Sector 1. Purple Sector 1. And I've taken all the assists off. Okay, 1% AI. That's just... got a bit ahead of myself there. I was getting very excited at the prospect of a purple Sector 1, and then I remembered that... I mean, it's literally like 3-year-olds are driving the other cars. Now, I've completely missed that corner, but that doesn't matter, because we're still doing well this lap. That is the closest we've come to a spin-out this lap, and it didn't really cost us much time. In fact, if we are to replicate this again in the next lap, I think we could be within a shout. I think we could be within a shout of not finishing last. So Charles is over the line. Oh, Vettel's behind it. Okay, so the leaders are miles away. We're not worried about them. We're worried about Robert Kubica, which is becoming the story of these Grand Prix that I do against the computer. I tend to be racing Robert Kubica, but despite being in a Mercedes. But we'll let that go, because look how you can see how much closer they are this lap. Fastest lap of the Grand Prix, Mr. Lewis Hamilton. We are so on for not finishing last. Come on, Robert Kubica. We're going to get you. We're not going to get you. We're not. We're too far back. We're too far. Look at him. He's just there. I can see him in the distance being reeled in. It's a purple sector too. But I don't think it's going to happen. It's certainly not going to happen with exiting like that. All over the place with a tank slapper. Charles Leclerc's won. Which is where I should be, really, if we're being honest. But it's not going to happen, is it? They're miles away. They are all miles away. I mean, I can do what I like on the final corner. There's a penalty. It's not happened. 1% AI. And I'm comfortably last in the fastest car in the game. Right, well, that was the end of the channel. Thank you, everyone, for watching Into the Barrier. Your support over the years has been greatly appreciated. Yeah, it's been lovely. I'm going to have to retire, I'm afraid.